Hey, so we're doing a multi-camera video here today on the bench, and we're talking with the Tank RC because we enjoy doing these kinds of things, and of course none of our trucks are stock trucks.
No.
It seems to be a habit. We just you can't stop fixing stuff and tinkering with stuff. So
You buy something and then you modify it.
you kind of have to, just because you want it to be personal, right? You want it to be your own. And so today what we're going to talk about is just personalizing your RC.
Yeah.
And so Tank came over and brought some fancy stuff to show off, and I want to spend a few minutes talking about the Blazer build, because this some of this stuff has come up in some of the YouTube comments on the videos and stuff for the Blazer, so we'll talk about that a little bit, and then we're going to talk about a couple of new projects that we're trying to do together.
Yep.
So first of all, why don't you tell us what's your favorite flavor of RC?
The one you put a battery in. And
no nitro for you?
No nitro for me. I haven't tried it, but I heard too many horror stories. My brother has one, and every time, well, he had a couple, but every time he had one, he hated it because it's always tuning. Every time he took it out and trying to adjust it, you do a 15-minute ride, the weather change, you got to retune it again. So to me, it was a nightmare. I like putting a battery and go.
Yeah.
It's less trouble.
It's way less trouble. Do you find that you always do you have enough batteries?
No.
The nitro guys, they always say, well, oh, yeah, I don't want to do electric because all I have to do is just fill up my gas tank and I can go for days.
Well, what's nice with pretty much on my truck, if I take a 5,000 milliamp battery, 2S, it fits in pretty much all my trucks, except for the small guys.
Yeah.
But that's what's nice when you buy a certain truck, you got to make sure your batteries are compatible. Not just the capacity or the connector, but the drainage of it. Because if you try putting your normal battery that you buy on your first Slash, and then you try putting it on a big monster truck with a big motor, you're just going to cook that battery. It's just going to pop up. So you do have to be careful. But I have some batteries, some small batteries from the small guys and some big batteries. But what I've noticed is in the last 2 years, I got to buy new batteries.
Why?
Because they get old. They can only recharge them so often.
That's true, eh?
And I don't want them to blow up in my house.
No. So you're using LiPo batteries, I guess?
LiPo batteries, yeah. I do have some NIMs that I take out once in a while. If I use up all my LiPos, I take out my NIMs. What's nice with the NIMs is I had one that was sitting there for 8 years, charged it up, and it was ready to go again. It was crazy.
Funny, eh?
It's crazy.
Yeah, some of them are good. I had some for the small trucks like this, the little 1/16. They come with that 5 or 6 cell nickel battery, and I find I only got very limited use out of them before they were junk. Yeah, I don't know if it was just a bad quality pack or whatever, but I never got any really good luck out of those NIM batteries, especially the small ones.
Mm-hmm.
I just went to LiPo.
Yeah, some people don't like LiPos, but I like LiPos. Because LiPo, your battery constant power is all the way up to the end, and then you can't use it. Compared to NIMs, is your speed and your fun goes down as time.
It does. It slows down.
It slows down. So 50% of the battery, you got 50% of your speed, and that's, to me, it's 50% of the fun. Gone.
Yeah. So, and I don't really want to do nitro tuning either, so I mean, I'm all electric, and all of our channel already knows that anyways.
Yeah.
So, we use the Helios RC 1500 3-cell now. That's like our main battery. We use it in all the little trucks. We use it in just about everything we can find. And even sometimes with our smaller airplanes, it's the same battery we use in the smaller airplanes, so it's handy.
But on those batteries there, how many milliamps are they? 800?
Well, it's 1500 milliamp, 3-cell, and they have a 45 to 90 discharge.
Oh, that's good. But so, on a brushed motor, how much runtime do you get?
A couple hours.
And on the brushless?
Brushless is about an hour, so the brushless scale trucks are usually running about 1,000 milliamps per hour.
Okay.
And brushed scale trucks are usually running 700 to 800 milliamps per hour. So that sort of seems to be an average across the board for us. So And I mean, when we're on the trail for a couple hours, that's even an hour on a single battery. It doesn't take much to change the battery in these little trucks, so I don't mind doing that every hour. The pack is only this big. You put a whole bunch of them in your pocket on the way, and that's it.
Yep, true.
Yeah. So today we're looking at, is it 3 different trucks? 4? No, there's 3 plus 1 extra body.
Yeah, there's this guy here, but that's just a body right now. We're going to do something special with this guy. And some of you that are following my YouTube channel pretty much know, but never seen on my YouTube channel, what this guy looked like stock. So basically, this is a Tacon, short course truck.
And who makes this?
Tacon. It's a China made.
Oh, that's the company name.
Yeah. So this is a 1/16, I believe, from Tacon. And basically, the only thing, I didn't do it as somebody else did. I bought the truck like this. But it's so simple. You take the body off, and then you can keep the body, or you can throw it. And then he readjusted.
Show that off. This is a cool little truck.
So basically, it's brushless little truck, and this is worth about $125 US. Like it's cheap truck, and it's all metal underneath. It's a tough little truck, but that thing is just crazy fast.
Wow.
And so stable. It's ridiculous.
It's got a really low center of gravity, eh?
Yeah.
So you're converting this now from the short course truck to something else?
Yes. Just like that, we're going to convert that to a razor buggy. So basically, the only thing the other guy did is he drilled a couple of holes. You buy that at Walmart or whatever. It's a new bright body.
Yeah.
It's a Razor Ranger. Right now, I believe that this is the 800. I believe right now they have the 1000 model, which is a black one, in stock, and then not in stock, but at Walmart. So I'm just going to adjust the post because I moved them.
Look at that.
There we go. We have a little razor buggy.
That is too cool.
And this thing is a fast little thing.
This looks like a huge pile of fun.
Yeah.
I mean, that's awesome. Do you have a driver for it too?
Yeah, a normal driver, a 6-inch figure fits in there. The wrestler I have, my mini tank, fits in there perfectly. I had the guy and the girl in there actually.
That is so cool. That is so cool.
It's an easy mod to do. Yes, there is a cost to it because you're basically buying a small little Razor RC buggy just for the body. What you do with the rest, it's up to you. But it's just to me, the New Bright is a toy grade.
Yeah.
But the chassis underneath it, it's a better grade. This thing has aluminum shocks. It's just.
I know the equipment on it is amazing. Actually, it's crazy.
For $125 US, you can't go wrong.
So then, the cost of this Razor buggy from Walmart or whatever, how much does that thing cost? Like 40, 50 bucks maybe?
It is probably around the $40 or $50, I think. I forgot to ask. There's a gentleman that sends me an email because he saw my video and he actually went to Walmart, found one, and he wanted to know which chassis I actually put underneath it. So I sent him the link, and he's going to get one or one similar to it. I believe the Mini 8 is about the same size as this, and the same wheelbase now, the new Mini 8, the one with the longer wheelbase. So
if you're going to buy a Lexan body for, say, 30, 40 bucks US for one of these, and then you buy a couple cans of paint for another 8 or 10 bucks each, it's the same price as buying this whole thing, and then you can just drop it right on.
Yep. And what's nice with this is the guy also built a trailer for it.
Oh, cool.
I put that behind my truck, and when you have your truck here, and you have this behind it, it looks pretty scale.
Yeah, that's a really neat idea.
It looks just crazy, and when you go on events and all that, and you have that behind, people just go, "Oh, that's so cool."
So I wonder what it would take to turn one of these into an actual like slow crawler, because they've already got the independent suspension and dog bones, and it's like the chassis is really well built. Actually, it's amazing.
Sato Rodas on YouTube.
Yeah.
He's pretty good with craft and all that. He's actually built one.
Oh yeah.
He's got that body on a smaller chassis, but his is actually a crawler.
Cool.
And he's got the big tires, and he's just crawling over rocks. It's pretty cool.
I don't know why I think that's so neat, but it looks like you could put the lights in it too. There, it's got.
Yeah, it's got the light buckets.
It's got buckets. Yeah, you could probably make that work pretty easy.
One thing I want to do is actually hide, build something inside with styrene or whatever to actually hide it so you don't see through it.
Yeah, yeah.
So it looks more scale.
Yeah.
So in other words, I want to build fenders for it because right now it's just the body.
That'd be easy to just attach to this too, and then you could leave it off the chassis, when you take it apart.
Yeah. So the buckets are there, but they just
yeah.
need to be drilled.
Huh?
So that's pretty cool in the sense that the buckets are all there,
So
even
easy.
in the rear, and you just have to drill them out to a 3mm and just put your light.
So that's a really fun way to personalize your RC, right there. I
Yep.
mean, there's I didn't actually think through ever putting those two things together, like a brushless on-road or short course or something, and then putting a smaller RC body like that. That's a really cool idea.
Yeah, because it really changes it up.
Oh, yeah.
The center of gravity also on this is not that bad. The cage is high,
Yeah.
but this thing does not flip a lot. And when you go from here, let me just bring this down. When you go from here to here, it just changes. Like it's
Wow.
just like poof.
Pretty neat. That's a really cool idea.
And what's neat with this is I can put the body posts back where they were before and actually use this as a short course truck again
Yeah.
without doing anything if I want to,
Yeah.
or use it as a buggy. So
I love that. That's a really good idea. And it's definitely personal at that point. There's probably not too many of these you see kicking around, eh?
no, I haven't seen a lot.
Yeah. Ever neat. I'm amazed at how good the equipment is in this thing. You should look it up. We'll
Yeah.
have to put a link in the comments there.
Yeah.
Nice, man. That's great. So there's one way to personalize something. It's just a body change. Seems like it's actually pretty simple. So I'm pretty impressed with that because I mean anybody can do that job.
Yeah.
It's even used as the same body post. So man, that's great.
Very simple.
Yeah.
Another one that's simple to do, I find, is what I did with this guy.
So what was this at the beginning? I think we all kind of recognize it a little bit, but what was it at the beginning?
It's a twin hammer.
Okay.
So I got this twin hammer that was already modified a bit. The guy modified the cage at the back. The tire usually sits farther back. He brought the tire forward a little bit. And he had yellow metal panels on it, which I wasn't too fond of. So what I decided to do is actually, if I lift up the ears, you'll see, I put new panels on it, and I did the wrap around all the way up to the front. So it actually wraps around all the way to the front, and the whole body is actually styrene.
So there's no more Lexan.
So no Lexan, no metal. It's styrene. It bends very easy, and this is white styrene. So I've been at the skate park. I jumped it. I went over the roof. There is some scratch marks. I broke lost a lens cap. Broke the hood a little bit because on the skate park it's kind of hard on an RC. But this was a very easy modification, and when I did this, it was like this, and just the front end made it look like a dog or an animal. So I had these kicking around that I was going to use for a different project, and I popped it in there, and then I decided to use some felt.
Yeah.
And then I got this for the ears. So
that's funny.
It's really easy to do, and it's fun to watch because when it's driving around, the only thing you see is the ears going like this or just staying up. It's really neat.
It's like a twin hammer version of Monster Jam.
Yeah.
You know, there's a Monster Jam off-road truck there, monster truck with the ears on it there, and he's got the big dog front end and everything, and it's pretty much just the off-road, the twin hammer buggy version.
And the modification I did on this, but basically you don't need to do this. To do what I did is I put your GCM twin hammer shock mount in the front.
Yeah.
Gives a big difference on the ride.
Yeah, I bet.
And what I liked about it also is that it permits you to put a battery up front.
Right.
But everybody that I've seen do this,
yeah,
they cut the hood or the frame. They cut it on the side, on each side here.
Yeah.
And then you flip it forward.
I've always flipped mine forward. Yeah.
Yeah, you always flip yours forward. But me, what I did is I cut the two arms at the back. So you cut it this way. Wait.
Yeah.
You cut it this way, I cut mine this way.
Okay.
And that permits me to do this.
So it's opening at the front now.
So it's opening at the front, and it's just like a real hood.
Neato. Well, a non-Jaguar hood.
Yeah. So now I got my battery in there.
Easy, eh?
So instead of cutting on the side here and here,
Yeah.
I cut it this way. There's two posts, you just cut it,
Yeah.
leave the screws in there. I loosen them up on the side a little bit.
Yeah, and
So
then
it
you got a
makes it
hinge
easy.
out of it, eh?
Yeah,
The
and then it
screws
makes a
are
hinge.
there. Huh. That's pretty simple. I like it. The access for the battery is way easier now, because I know on the factory twin hammer it's actually behind the cabin right in
Yeah.
the back here.
Yeah.
And it's a bit of a pain to get your hand in there for the strap and everything. Neato.
So here I use a 12-volt batteries, and that's why I just popped the batteries in there.
Yeah.
So I could put a 3S in here, 12-volt batteries with the resistors, not batteries, 12-volt LEDs.
Yeah.
Like that, it's right on the battery. It's not on my receiver.
Yep.
Nice and bright.
Cool.
That's an easy way to do the sheet mod. Put some stickers on it.
White styrene panel. Just like that.
And you told me there was black, which I didn't know. So people
Yeah,
could
you
actually
can also
use
get black panels, black styrene panels too. So if you drive those upside down on a skate park like he does, then when it scratches there, you don't see the scratches on the black either.
Well, my son got a one of those scooters.
Oh yeah.
So I got to go to the park with him.
Yeah,
so
yeah,
instead
yeah,
of just
yeah.
sitting there fiddling my thumb and watch him do this,
Yeah.
I just drive around with my RCs and do
Oh, yeah.
backflips and things like that. So
That's fun. Nice. Yeah, I like it. I like your hood, your teeth hood, teeth on the hood there.
yeah, it just
It's pretty
gives
cool.
it a meaner look.
That's pretty fun. So then it's everybody can kind of recognize this as a twin hammers, but of course it has that personal touch now with the monster dog sort of theme going on, and then with the hood opening and whatever. It's pretty cool. I like
Yeah.
it. Tire change. Neato. Yeah. So when I was building my blazers there on the same theme of trying to make something a little bit different, I didn't want to do the regular blazer like everybody else does, you know, with the cap on the back. And I mean, I built one of those too with body from Andy Lowry. And now RC 4-wheel drive has the hard body blazer with they're all pre-painted and everything for the guys that don't have a paint booth available or it's too cold like over here.
Oh yeah.
So I wanted something different, and so I decided to go with the racing theme too, kind of like what you did with your twin hammer there. Just try something different, you know. And I did a full racing cockpit in the truck, so it's got only one seat. And then I built up metal cage work for the back so that it had a tire holder, and it's more of a Baja sort of racer theme, you know.
Yeah.
And then I got something unique too that I think is a little different. And then when you see them in pictures, you kind of recognize it, right?
Yep.
You can see the flavor of the truck, and I don't know. I kind of built it as a Class 1 competition truck, but unfortunately, it's still not built the way that competition trucks are built. Like most of them have, they have the minimum amount of body, so the tires stick out just enough for Class 1. They have big winches on them and all this other stuff that makes them more competitive than this is. And this is not going to be competitive in Class 1, but it's the look that I wanted.
Yeah.
And that's all that matters to me. So.
And you got scale items in there. And I noticed you got sand rails, but you got them on magnets. So he's put little magnets, earth magnets. You love your magnets.
I love my magnets. You got that right.
So he's got a body rail inside, and he just puts them inside on each side.
The toe strap is on a magnet too.
Okay.
So
In the back, yeah.
the toe strap has steel hooks on it, which is really handy. First of all, they don't bend when you're trying to tow somebody, so that's handy. But then because they're metal, I can just throw them in the back and they won't fall out because there's magnets in the bed that hold the strap. So it makes things really simple when you're trying to not spend time all day trying to fix your recovery equipment on the trail. You can just aim them in there and they're done.
I've done that on my son's Jeep. It's a styrene body, so I put a bunch of magnets underneath, right where the bed is at the back.
Oh, good.
And I have a chain that he uses instead of a rope.
Yeah, yeah.
And what he does is once he's done, he just takes the chain, just drops it in the back, and it just boom, sticks in the ground. Even if he rolls, even if he does whatever, it just doesn't go anywhere.
I think that's a really handy little thing. I like magnets, you know that. And I never thought of using them on the accessories though until this build. I don't know why. This was like the first time I thought, hey, I don't need to make a holder for these. I'll just put a magnet on it and then boom.
And they're not in the way of actually using them.
No, they don't fall out either actually. I bounced it around at the East Coast Scale Challenge event in Class 1 and all the stuff stayed in. It was good.
Cool.
Yeah. So there's a personalized rig too, you know, it's not the usual kind of Blazer, and it's on a C-Max chassis, so because I seem to do that with everything these days, and yeah, there, it's different.
What kind of suspension you got on that? Leaf at the front and rear, okay.
Yep, yeah, it's 4 leaf springs, the typical Blazer sort of suspension on there, and actually talking about mixing and matching parts like your Razor buggy, the interior kit that I got for this, which is it's actually the what do you call that new monster truck there that Axial has? SMT?
Yes, the SMT.
The SMT has like a tube chassis on it because it's a monster truck chassis, you know, for that series. And then Exclusive RC made a full interior cockpit for it for the racing with the extra tube work and stuff. And so I actually got the Exclusive RC SMT interior cockpit, which isn't exactly made for scale truck, but because it had the tube work and stuff to hold it all together already, it was literally a 5-minute mod to make it fit into there. So I bolted the SMT interior tubes right onto the floor pan of my C-Max truck, and then I moved up the lower gauges to the top, to a new top panel. I just lifted them up to the next level on that was on the interior, and that's it. That's all I had to do. And like there's 2 parts that should have never been together, but they work great. Really nice, and it's all lit up. It's got like 8 LEDs or something in it, right from Exclusive RC. So it's got the tack light that blinks and the whole bit, and then all the gauges and everything are all lit up, and yeah, I like it.
Cool.
Yeah, it's fun.
Oh, you have to put the steering wheel that turns now.
Yeah, I haven't done that in a long time.
Okay.
I don't know why. I really should, because especially some of the newer trucks like the Bronco there, I've got the interior and the seats and everything all stays on the chassis now, so with the wiring it's a lot easier.
Okay.
Yeah, I should do that again. You're right. That's a good idea. Put a little micro servo.
Yep.
Yeah, it's been a few years. I'm overdue. So, and then we have this new project we should talk about, eh?
Yeah.
You want to bring that out?
Yeah, it's heavy though.
Oh, you got muscles. I know you can do
Yeah,
it.
but it's heavy, very heavy. It's that guy there.
Yeah. Pretty hard to find one of these nowadays. What is this thing actually from? This is an original, right? So what is this actually? What is it in its original state?
It's called a Tonka Winnebago.
Wow.
And it even has the sticker on this side, which is still noticeable from Tonka.
Wow.
On the other side, it's kind of weathered out.
So, this was the days when the toys for kids were made out of actual steel.
Yeah, everything is steel.
Okay? I mean, you guys probably remember those days, any of you that are a little bit older anyway, where the truck could survive a beating in the backyard there every day for the entire summer, and it still looked like a truck at the end of the summer.
Leave it outside for the winter and pick it up in the summer again.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm amazed actually how much detail they got on it, being that it's metal. Like this, all of this lettering and stuff here is actually raised steel. You know, it's part of the steel stamp, and then they have a little fender flare, and the storage boxes are all stamped out. Like there's quite a bit of impressive detail on it. It's neat.
This thing was either left in the sun a lot, or I'm not sure, but all the windows are all warped.
Yeah.
So we're going to have to change the windows. It's got full interior.
Cool.
The fridge is kind of missing a door, but we'll build one with styrene.
That's cool.
So Chris Rappel in Calgary, in Alberta, built
Yeah.
one. And I've had
Nice.
this now for about a year and a half. I wanted to turn this into a RC for a long time, but I was just waiting because what I didn't like about other people, what they do, they look great and all that, but I want to build it more scale.
Okay.
I want to build it like a real Winnebago would be built, in other words, and not with link suspension. I don't want all the travel and all that.
Oh.
So when I saw your C-Max and the motor forward and all that, I said this is perfect, because especially if I mount this chassis underneath it,
Yeah.
how do I get access to the motor?
Yeah.
Your C-Max chassis is perfect for that, because the motor actually comes out from the bottom once everything is installed.
Yeah.
Another thing we're going to do on this is we're going to install that chassis, the motor. I want to do a 3D printed motor, but inside also, it also has a raised hutch here for the motor. We're going to cut this, and we'll be able to see the motor from the inside.
Awesome.
So we'll take the seat out. I don't know if we'll keep these seats or whatever, but we'll get some scale items for the inside and put a bunch of stuff on the table and try to find a lot of scale items and put a chassis underneath it.
Cool.
It still has the arm to actually come out.
I didn't even know that's what that was for.
And it actually,
That is cool. Look at that thing.
so when I was with Chris at one of our events,
man,
I
that's
told
funny.
him, Chris Rappel did this, and he's got vinyl wrapped all around it.
Yeah.
And I said to Chris, what I'd love to do with this build is actually make a GCM special event vehicle.
That'd be cool.
It's going to be vinyl wrapped. It's going to be have your logo on it. I want to approach a couple other people to actually sponsor some stuff on it, and then we'll put their name on the vinyl also. And this will be at pretty much all your events. I'm going to use it sometime at home for some videos, but I'm going to give it to Chris so he can bring it to some of his events for people to look at.
It's pretty cool.
And bring to the special events.
Take a wild guess what we're going to use for a chassis.
Can you guess? Write it down below if you can guess. Nah, I guess we're going to tell.
Yeah, it's pretty easy. Yeah. So there's a surprising amount of room underneath this. When I first saw this, I thought, we're never going to be able to get the truck to fit underneath it. So turn it upside down. Like, it's actually got this, it looks like about a 2.5 inch space between the bottom of the rocker panel and the actual floor on the truck. There's a huge space. So, funny thing is that you can put a full RC chassis and suspension and motor and everything right in there, like without even conflicting with the frame inside. It's got so much space. And we're gonna of course use a C-Max. And you can see that this one here is the 175 size axle. We're gonna use the 152 axle, so the wheels are still tucked in. Basically it's gonna look exactly the same as it does now from the outside. But it'll have a full proper RC drivetrain and leaf springs, and I mean, that's pretty cool.
Whose axle are we putting underneath it?
The axles come from Bauhaus RC and on Shapeways, and they also sell them at bauhausrc.com. And they're a Toyota version. It's called an NC Yoda. That's the 152 size, so that they'll keep the wheels tucked in like this. And with the leaf springs, we can actually stack up huge piles of leaf springs so that the weight of the truck doesn't completely smash it to the ground.
And we're also going to put leaf spring and coil spring on here.
What's the coil spring for?
The weight.
I don't think you need it.
Just put more leaves? Or?
Yeah. Oh yeah. If we have enough leaf springs on it, then it should be okay. We'll have to just keep trying it until we get it.
I know somebody, and I saw that on the web the other day, but somebody came out with airbags. Little tiny airbags that you can pop up. I think I'm going to order them and just see how they look like or what they look like. They would be cool on here, because a Winnebago would have not airbags but coil spring or something a little heavier duty because of all the weights.
Yep. Are you going to put a trailer hitch on it too?
That's one thing I was thinking, is it would be cool to have a trailer hitch behind it, and then you could do something like this, have that there, and then you could have that at the back, or a boat or something. So that'd be kind of cool.
You got to do a trailer for that. That'll be awesome. Really cool, man. Awesome.
So we're gonna try the vinyl wrap, just like Chris Rappel did, and I think it's ScaleTalk, the YouTube channel he's got.
Yeah. Link below in the comments.
Yeah, and we'll try to. You'll put the link to his video of his.
Yep.
Of his Winnebago, and because it's got all bumps on there, and with the vinyl wrap, it should pop up again.
Yeah.
It's going to be hard to actually show all the bumps, but the vinyl and all that, once we use a little heat gun to actually suck it up and make it nice and stick.
Yeah, that'll work fine.
And we'll change the windows to new windows, clear windows. But mind you, the wrap is going to cover pretty much all the windows except for the front ones.
We can. We should probably leave the door piece, say, like make a line for the door so it looks like there's still a door there. Because I didn't even know that was the awning that comes out.
Okay.
If it's supposed to be on this side, then we have to make sure that there's like an accessible door. At least it looks like a door.
Yeah. What do you guys think we should put on the top? What kind of logo or what kind of stuff do you think we can put? We can put something really huge on top, especially event vehicle or whatever. So when we have it out like that as an awning, it's going to show up more.
I think you should put a drone landing pad.
Drone landing pad. Yeah.
And then we can use it for practice landings.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a huge amount of space on top, actually. It's crazy.
And this thing's heavy. I want to weigh it before doing anything, but it's nice and heavy.
Yeah, it sure is. Wow.
But I've seen people crawl with this with their truck, and you can pretty much put a lot of angle on it before it tips, but it's.
You can't even do that on a real Winnebago.
No.
They have like a 2-inch flex.
Yeah. But what I want to do on this is I don't want to do rock climbing or anything. It's just going to be trail riding.
Yeah.
And going out to the campsite or on the road. And,
yeah.
My trails are pretty nice for this. There's a lot of nice spots I can go. I don't think I'll be able to do the broken bridge, but I should be able to. But.
You might have to do a whole bunch of turns to get around your switchback there at the house, eh?
Yeah, or the 55-degree hill, a 52-degree, it won't make it up that one.
No winch on it?
I don't think we'll put a winch on that.
You might need one to pull it over, put the winch on top so you can rake the thing back when it lands on its side.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So today, basically, we're going to hopefully start on this. What I want to do today is take the bottom off and see where the rails are going to end up and actually weld something on it to actually hold the rails.
Cool. Well, I guess we'll start getting messy in the messy part of the shop and chop some of that parts off the truck. And I'm really glad that you could come by in time for a video. That's pretty good.
Cool.
If you guys are doing personal stuff on your own RC, we want to see it too, so put your video links in the comments. I think half the time YouTube sends the video links to the spam box on the comments, but we just approve them and then they go back into the video. So don't be afraid of putting your link on there. We want to see what you're doing on your own channel, and we like to watch you guys. So thanks for showing.
Thanks for showing up.
Thanks for watching our Scale Talk here again about personalizing your RC.
Yeah, and we had 2 cameras going, one up there and one down there.
So we get to see it on the Tank RC at the same time?
You get to see it twice. But if you watch mine, you got to watch his also, and then if you watch his, go to mine and actually watch mine. Link below.
That's called cross-posting, but it's 2 cameras.
Yeah. 2 different angles.
Yeah. Good. Happy RC.
Thanks, guys.
Bye-bye.
Coffee time.
Yep.
Hey, I gotta get a GCM coffee mug. No, you're gonna have to adjust that. Am I cutting my head on the other one too? Maybe I should get a shorter chair. It's okay now. Yeah. We're in a box here. We're stuck in a box. Really small.
You're a tall guy.
I'm a tall guy? Yeah. Here, that's good.
I will have to fix the camera.
You gotta back it up. I'll sit down.